couldn't resist, mate.
Hey guys, Batman13 here, and this is my custom LEGO 5 Nights at Freddy's 4 Halloween special minifigure showcase. And guys, happy Halloween! It's Halloween. Even though I don't celebrate Halloween or anything close to that, I still figured I'd make this for views, I think. So anyways, these figures kind of have been done for like a year. But the only reason I didn't showcase these in time is because I really wanted to showcase these on some sort of horror day, either Friday the 13th, which I didn't get around to doing that either, or Halloween itself. And I didn't finish them last year for Halloween because I got them like halfway done, but I'm doing them now. And guys, like I said, these have been done for like a year, so they're not anywhere close to my best figures, but I think they do stand up to some of my newer figures. So anyways guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into this minifigure showcase. Okay, so here is the first figure, and this is Nightmare Bonny. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into this minifigure showcase. So starting off with the legs, as you guys can see here, they are really worn down and airbrushed and dry brushed and everything possible to make this figure look as disgusting as possible. So what I did basically here is I just took a thumbtack and scratched the living crap out of this, and then went over it with some black and this just dark blues and just normal color here, which is like a bluish purple, which does show up pretty good on camera. So this is pretty much what it looks like, you know, in real life, as you guys are seeing it right here. It's just a little darker blue, to be honest with you. Just imagine like a darker blue version of this. But anyway, so as you guys are probably wondering, what the heck is a torso? What'd you do for that? So basically, a lot of design flaws went into this, and basically I started off with using a Ninjago skeleton, which you're probably wondering what's the difference between a Ninjago skeleton and a regular one, which the rib cages are a lot better on the LEGO ones than Ninjago, because Ninjago is a lot harder to cut. So I cut up one and didn't look good, so wasted like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours of my time cutting one of those, and then it completely failed. So I moved on to the regular LEGO skeleton torso. So I cut that so it could actually fit in the torso to begin with. So what I did to the actual LEGO torso that is on this figure is basically what I did is I just cut a giant hole, basically almost cutting the entire front off of it, and then I glued in the skeleton piece right there, as you guys can see. And then what I did after that is I just sculpted around that to make it seamless, which it kind of is pretty seamless. And then I also added a red bow tie sculpted onto it, as you guys can see there, which is a little big, but it's fine to me. And then the head right here, you guys are probably wondering, how the heck did you make that head? Which I will show you guys right now that this is actually a lot taller, not a lot, but a little bit taller than average minifigure. Here's my Sig figure right here, and then it's kind of a little bit taller, and the only thing that's making that taller is the head, which I will get the, sorry about that, I will get the head off right here and show you guys what I did. Is I used an Ninjago hood piece that they used, I don't know what line it was, but I think it was like 3 years or a year back or something like that. Basically these little mask pieces that kind of go over the bandana pieces, that go over pretty much just the mouth that you can put on their neck. And that I used that, I cut it up a bit and kind of sculpted it and glued it basically just sculpted it onto a regular average minifigure head. So it's just, you know, yellow minifigure head, and you only get a little bit of clutch power, but I think it makes it worth it to make the mouth open like that, because otherwise you would have to sculpt out a lot or even carve out the minifigure head to get that mouth opening thing. And also what I did for the teeth, if you guys are probably wondering about that, what I did for the teeth, as you guys can see here, I cut up I cut out staples, and I used that for the teeth. So that was what I did there for pretty much every single minifigure. Yeah, actually every single minifigure but Foxy has this exact technique. So I'm not going to go over it in the next minifigures just to save time. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I did. And also I scratched the head up with a thumbtack as well. Same thing I did with the legs, torso, arms, everything. I basically just scratched it up with the thumbtack to make it that much more weathered. And also everything you see here is, you know, pretty much sculpted. The head is sculpted, the ears are sculpted a little bit too. I haven't showed you guys that. The ears are sculpted, And also the eyes follow you, so that's pretty creepy as well. They don't follow you too much, but this one really does. It looks like it's moving a lot, so I really love that. So anyways, guys, that has to be it for Bonny. So without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and get straight on to the next minifigure. Okay, so here is the next minifigure, and this is Nightmare Freddy. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into this minifigure. Starting off with the legs, as you guys can see here, I also put these heads on the legs too, so there's that. But I basically, like I said, on Bonny, I scratched the legs up with a thumbtack and then went over and airbrushed it with a bunch of dark browns and black and the regular base color brown that's already right now. Now, the heads were just sculpted on. They're not very good at all. I know they're not accurate really that much, but they are in the accurate places. I don't know if they move around or not. Not very, not really keen on exactly how they go on, but I think it came out okay. I don't know if they move around his torso in the game. I don't really know. I haven't played it. I've only watched like 2 gameplays of it, so that's pretty much it. Also, the legs have like some wiring on there, so you guys can see that little silver spot. It's not white, it's silver. On the leg right there, so it looks pretty cool, all the wiring. And also on the torso, there's some wiring right there up on the top of the torso. And also this giant like black gap, as you guys can see right there between the torso and the legs. Didn't make that 3D, which I probably should have, but I didn't do it. That's just painted on and airbrushed, and also very heavily took a thumbtack and just scratched this up. And same thing with the arms and the back and the legs and the head. Again, same thing with the head with Bonny. Just use that. Oh, if I can take the head off. Oh, and his ear freaking fell off. So you guys are going to have to watch this minifigure showcase without his other ear. I'll get that. I'll probably just, I'll probably fix it now if I can. But yeah, so also another thing with these sculpts, these are pretty old minifigures, so if they continue to fall off bits and pieces, I'm sorry. But anyways, the arms, again, they're just scratched up with thumbtack and then weathered, and then the head is the same exact ordeal with some staples. Yes, staples for the teeth, and then also that Ninjago hood piece on the bottom to make it a little bit taller as well. As you guys can see, it's taller, as well as to make the mouth open like that. So anyways, that is Freddy. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight on to the next minifigure. Okay, so here is the next minifigure, and this is a Nightmare Chica. So yeah, this is probably one of the better ones out of the bunch, to be honest with you. And so yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into this minifigure. So starting off with the legs, is very weathered, and some might even say it looks disgusting, and that's the point. I actually won a contest with this figure probably years back, and the owner of the contest, or the runner of the contest who made the contest, said they looked a little sloppy, and now going back to it, it kind of does look sloppy, but that's the freaking point, is to make it look sloppy and weathered. But I probably could have done a better job with the weathering, but it looks okay to me. Anyways, scratched up with a thumbtack everywhere, and then went over it. Actually, this is a lot heavily scratched up with a thumbtack even more. But yeah, so also on the feet there are some gaps in the legs. I probably could have wrapped that around, but I don't know if that rubbed off or just didn't get around to doing it. Probably just didn't get around to doing it. Also, there's another black gap in the middle of the torso there. And then also the arms kind of extend a little bit, which that was not on purpose, is because the torso kind of completely might have cracked in the middle as I was painting the figure, maybe. So it did have to have a what was it? I can't even words. Anyways, I had to take what was it? Something. I had to take a stick. I'm going to say a stick for the remainder of this video. Take a stick in the middle and jam it in the middle of the torso, and then put the arms and attach them onto that stick. So yeah, you guys are probably going to correct me in the comments and say I use this. Yeah, I'm just going to say stick for right now. Anyways, the head is the same exact ordeal as Freddy and Bonny, with the Ninjago hood piece, bandana piece right there, to make the mouth open. And I think the teeth are paper clips, not paper clips, staples, because I use staples for a lot of my figures, like rangefinders and everything. So yeah, staples for the teeth. By the way, that was very tedious. That took me like an hour to do, like each tooth. Very time consuming, and don't even want to take the head off because I know it might rip the teeth off, and I don't want to do that again. Anyway, so this is probably one of the better sculpts. I really like the whole duck thing going on. There's a little like complete chunk taking out of her head right there, and you guys can see all the wiring right there, silver like barbed wire, and just the frame of her head is all robotic and everything. The eye is completely taken out on the left side, and then on the right side she has like this red eye going on, which might look pink but is a red eye, and right there, as you guys can see, all red, and then has that white dot in the middle. And also, you guys can see I have her cupcake as well. Something just fell. I have her cupcake as well, which is completely hand sculpted by me, and also the teeth are made of staples. And so that was completely sculpted by me and painted, and I really like how that came out. And yes, that has to be it for this figure. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into this minifigure showcase. Okay, yeah, so here is the last minifigure, and this is my Nightmare Foxy. So yeah, without further ado, let's go and get straight into this minifigure showcase. And starting off with the legs, as you guys can see here, I did the same exact technique, was taking a thumbtack and scratching up everything, the arms, torso, and the head as well. This is again sculpted. Basically, I did something a little different, and what I did here is I cut the legs halfway, and then I glued in these skeleton legs, obviously, as you guys can see, and I think that turned out pretty nicely. And again, I scratched that up and weathered it and tried to make it as seamless as possible, and I think it looks really nice. Obviously, the average Foxy has that same technique as well, but I decided to weather this up a lot more, and it looks a lot better. I think I put some black down there too. And also weathered up these skeleton legs with some black and some gunmetal and all that kind of stuff. Looks pretty good. So yeah, this minifigure is probably the height of a minifigure because of the head sculpt. Now the head sculpt doesn't have that Ninjago hood piece because the mouth was going outwards and it didn't need to have that, so didn't put that on there. Now the head sculpt is pretty nice. I really love how it came out. As you guys can see, right here I have that kind of metal frame that these animatronics do have right here, and the teeth are white as well. If I can kind of tilt that forward, you guys can kind of see that his fur kind of goes over it, and it looks really nice and creepy and all weathered, and just that's probably my favorite part about this minifigure is just the sculpted head, and just the barbed wire just looks like looks real almost, and I really like how that came out. Now the silver I used was from a paint pen and wasn't the best, but also it has that little nose right there, so cute little nose. Anyways, the teeth are sculpted as well, not the best teeth sculpting, but yeah, it's fine. Now getting onto the torso, just so you guys can see it a little bit, is airbrushed with this like pinkish kind of color. Same thing I did with the head a little bit, and also has that giant black gap that pretty much every single animatronic in this showcase has. Also for the hook, I didn't use a minifigure hook hand. I just used a handcuff piece and then modified it and kind of cut it as sharp as possible, and then airbrushed it with the proper colors, silver and some black, just to make it a little bit more creepy and kind of worn down. Now the arms right here aren't ball jointed at all, which I probably will do that in the future, but they aren't for right now. Now the only problem with this figure is that it tilts to the side a little bit, but that's fine. Also the head kind of tilts to the side a little bit too, but that's fine as well. The eyes do follow you as well. If you guys can sort of see the eyes, if I can move the light a little bit, maybe just turn on one right here. Here we go. You guys can no, that makes it worse. Okay, this is great video so far. Anyways, the eyes kind of sort of follow you, if you guys can sort of see it, but it's very dark in there, and I kind of like how it has that kind of blackish eyes, but they are yellow in the game. They are yellow right now as well. Again, the head is sculpted and also has this little wire coming out of the right ear, as you guys can see right there. Pretty cool. Again, using a staple and modifying and cutting it up and stuff like that to make it kind of stick out of the ear like that. Again, head is sculpted and then scratched up with a thumbtack and just to make it a little bit worn. And yeah, so again, I know this game isn't popular right now, but I had literally nothing else to put for this Halloween special, so please bear with me, and please hope you guys enjoy these minifigures nonetheless, because I think they're okay. But again, I know Five Nights at Freddy's is a completely dead game, and they're still putting out games, and I don't know why they are, but it's a completely dead game. I don't know why I made these figures, but I did make these figures pretty much at the release of the game. But anyways, guys, without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video off. Okay, so that's just a bit for this video. This has been my Halloween special of my custom Lego Five Nights at Freddy's 4 minifigures. And guys, if you guys did enjoy, hit the like button down below. And as always, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy, visit, comment, and subscribe. And it's happy Halloween.